want to talk to you guys today about fishing plugs on the Great Lakes for salmon and trout. Plugs are my favorite bait for one reason only: they catch big fish. I would say 8 out of 10 bites or so that I get on plugs are mature king salmon. Seems like if you fish flasher flies, spoons, or even meat, there's still a larger percentage, maybe 30%, 40% of the bites you get are immature fish. So when it comes to tournament time, derby fishing, or even just for fun, everybody always wants to try and zero in on them big fish, and plugs are definitely a way you can do that. We're going to talk about a couple different things about plugs that'll help you pick out the proper ones at the proper time and hopefully help you catch more fish. And we're going to start with style. Silver Horde makes 2 different types of plugs. Their first type is the Ace High plug, which features a V-shaped nose, allowing for great speed tolerance. This plug works great in the 2.4, 2.5, 2.8, even 3.0 range for the guys that want to troll a little faster. It also features fixed hooks. The hooks are always on the plug. They're offered in, probably 100+ colors on our website, so colors aren't an issue. The standard plug, also known as the Silver Horde, some people refer to it as a J plug, features a hook harness that comes with it. You take the bead chain, put it through the bottom of the plug, comes up through the top, just like that. And this plug works great at speeds as low as 1.8 up to about 2.5. My speed range for these plugs I prefer is 1.8 to 2.2. I like to troll slow for big fish all the time, no matter what baits I'm using, and these baits work great at that 1.8 to 2.2 range. One of the tricks I use when I'm using Silver Horde plugs is I like to tie my line directly to this bead chain. The reason being, I don't use any snap swivels. Reason being is that so if and when you happen to break your line on one of your hot plugs, the plug floats up to the surface and you're able to turn around and go back and net it. I'm a firm believer in that once baits get bit by a fish, the amino acids from its mouth start to build up on that bait, and it makes that bait much hotter than a brand new one out of the package. Takes away any possible human scent, paint scent, anything like that, masks that with amino acids from the fish's mouth. The Silver Horde is offered in 2 sizes: size 5, which is the one I got in my left hand here, and the size 4, which I got in my right hand here. The big thing when you're thinking about choosing a size are the fish aggressive or non-aggressive? When they're really aggressive, I like the size 5. Bigger bait, bigger fish type of strategy. When they're a little bit off the feed maybe, but I can still get a few bites on plugs, I prefer the 4. And there's a lot of times where I cannot get them to touch a 5, but I can fill the cooler full of big kings on 4s. So keep that in mind. When talking colors, there's 2 different things to think about. Are the fish aggressively feeding, or are they biting more out of anger? If they're aggressively feeding, I prefer more of a natural color like this black and silver. Whether it's black and gold, black and silver, green and gold, anything with this kind of mylar prism type tape in it, or bright colors, sunny colors, okay? I prefer that because it's a little more natural, looks a little bit more like bait fish, and I think that that's great for when the fish are feeding. Come more towards the fall time, I would say starting in about early August, the fish are going on their maturation process, they're starting to turn colors, they become a little bit more angry, and they bite a little bit more out of anger, territorial type attitude. Then I prefer gaudy colors, like this Lucky Charm is one of my favorites. Anything bright, gaudy, glow in the dark seems to really get their attention that time of year. One of the biggest mistakes with plugs is everybody seems to think that fall around the harbor mouths is one of the only times to fish them, or the best time to fish them. Of course, that's a great time to fish them. Everybody fishes them that time of year, but I fish plugs all year round in different strategies, different scenarios. A couple of scenarios I like to fish plugs in is anytime I'm fishing near the shoreline and the water's really cold, in 10 to 50 foot of water, let's say, I fish plugs. Another time of year, or type of strategy I should say, that I use to fish plugs is as a sorter. And what I mean by that is if the fishing is just fantastic, it's lights out. Say you're going out and you're getting 20, 25 bites a trip, mostly king salmon, it's just great fishing. You're getting a mix of smaller fish and big fish, and you'd like to really zero in on them big fish. Plugs are a great way to do that. Put 2, 3, 4 in your spread, and you will eliminate some of them smaller fish and catch a lot of big fish. The other time is right away in the morning when the fish are aggressively feeding. Put a couple plugs down before first light or at first light, and you'll put a couple extra big fish in your box. We have the largest selection of Silverhorn plugs, I think, in the world. We got hundreds and hundreds of colors, custom colors that you can't buy anywhere else, available at www.anglersavenueproshop.com. I mentioned before that I like to use plugs in tournament scenarios. This past season, in the middle of August, we were at the Sturgeon Bay Offshore Challenge tournament, and in day one we really struggled. We were about middle of the pack. We knew we needed a big box on day 2 for both the 333 and to have a chance at the main tournament. One of the strategies I decided to go with was both of our downriggers. We put plugs on them for day 2 right away, and we were going to fish them all day. And my strategy was if they each caught one fish, they'd be the right fish, and it would help propel us to a good finish. Well, needless to say, we ended up catching 2 20-pounders on one of the rods and a 19-pounder on the other one, and it propelled us to a big win there and a second place in the 333. I'm going to show you a clip right now featuring those 2 20-pounders, give you a little idea what we did. Thank you.
Let me know if you need neutral or anything.
I think he didn't. He might have got out now. Get that thing down. No, don't point him over there. Otherwise he's gonna pass the boat. Stay over there, boss. Relax.
Yeah. Russell. Big wave.
That's to the left, Bob. Drop.
Nice work, Bob.